Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our video review of the LifeTrak Zone C410 fitness tracker. The design isn't stylish, that's obvious here, but instead it kind of reminds us of those heart rate monitor watches that you find in any sporting goods store. So you could say that they went with a safe approach with the design. It's pretty much conventional. It's constructed out of this plastic polycarbonate frame. And the nice thing about it is that the band itself is interchangeable. In fact, the band is easy to remove or install just because they slide into the top and bottom sides of the C410. As far as the cost, it's pretty manageable. They're $15 and it's available in a wide array of different colors. The overall size of the LifeTrak Zone C410 is comparable to a digital watch. When compared to something like a Fitbit Flex, you could see it's not as discreet. Despite that, it's still pretty comfortable to wear just because with the band, you can either wear it very loose or very tight. Looking at the unit, it features 3 physical buttons. You have one right beneath the display which also acts as the heart rate sensor, and you have the 2 that are on its right side. Essentially, the button below the display allows us to cycle through the different modes, showing us the data. So for example, we have things like our sleep count, we have the distance that we covered, the amount of calories burned, and the steps we've taken. Well, the 2 buttons on the right side have different functions depending on the mode. So for example, if we get into the step counting mode, if we press the top right button, it shows us the hourly and even our progress throughout the week. It saves up to 7 days, and we use the corresponding bottom right button to actually go back and see what the data is on those previous days. Also, the bottom right corner buttons used to actually sync the unit to our device via Bluetooth when we hold it down. There's nothing fancy with the display here. It's the same one you'd find on a digital watch. So it's an LCD screen, pretty big. It shows the time, date, and of course, as you've seen, it could cycle through the different modes and give us some relevant information, which is great. So we don't have to rely on just an app for it. It's plain, nothing fancy about it, but the best thing is that it's extremely visible even when the sun is present. And when it's dark, you can press the button below the display to activate the backlighting. The LifeTrak Zone C410 acts very much like other fitness trackers. So basically, it shows us the amount of steps we've taken in the course of a day, and in turn, it tells us exactly how many calories we burned, the distance covered. But it's really nice that we have all that information presented to us through the LCD display instead of using a mobile application. However, it has some really unique features that really stand out we gotta talk about. The first one being automatic sleep mode. Just because with other fitness trackers, they do have the ability for us to track sleep, but with this, the process is streamlined just because we don't have to set it when we're falling asleep and when we're waking up. The unit just knows exactly when we're sleeping. Secondly, it also packs a heart rate sensor. Now, the feature is nothing new just because we've been seeing it on recent fitness trackers, but the nice thing about this one here is that it's a lot more simple to operate. It's less finicky too. All we gotta do is just hold down the button below the display, and as we're resting our finger, it measures our heart rate. Now, it's really swell that we can view all the data through the fitness tracker's display, just because that means you don't necessarily have to rely on a phone to view that like some other fitness trackers. But as an alternative, you could still continue viewing all that data through the LifeTrak app, which is available for both Android and iOS. Of course, the app itself does the things we'd want it to do. For example, when you select on steps in the dashboard, it breaks it down to this bar graph where we could view it in either a day listing, weekly, monthly, or yearly, whatever option you want. And on top of that, it has all the other specific information that it has obtained: heart rate, distance covered, calories, amount of sleep, total active minutes. Frankly, it's pretty basic in what it offers, and it's not quite as expansive compared to other fitness applications. For example, there isn't a social aspect to this, so you're doing everything by yourself. You don't even have any coaching guides to help you perform better, do better with your goals. You don't have a calorie tracker to put in what types of food you're eating, and doesn't really factor in weight to the equation as well. The other thing we have to mention is that the Bluetooth connection isn't automatic. It's always a manual process. So in order to download the data to your device, you gotta manually do it. Powered by a coin battery, there's no need to recharge the LifeTrak Zone C410 just because with that single battery, it's rated to provide many months of continuous usage. So it's nice that you don't have to constantly recharge this, but at the end of the day, you just got to know at some point you're going to have to replace it. With its price tag of $100, the LifeTrak Zone C410 isn't that bad of a deal just because it has a really nice set of features such as the automatic sleep mode. You have also the heart rate sensor, and it's pretty accurate when it comes to tracking the amount of steps we take. On the flip side, the mobile app is functionally lacking and its design isn't the most flattering, though it's pretty sturdy with its construction, and it could also be submerged in up to 90 feet of water. So if you guys want to learn more about the LifeTrak Zone C410, you could check out our website, PhoneArena.com. It's John V. Thanks for watching.